Welcome back, everybody. We are here for round number 6 in Spain. If you did not see the last episode, make sure you go check it out. You'll see that Pierre Gasly was right on the hinges of getting a podium, but just couldn't get it done. His tyres just couldn't hold up for him. And Red Bull actually did some good team play, to be fair to them. But we also did get a double points finish. Magnussen getting P9. You can see so far in the battle between the two, Gasly with 18 points, Magnussen with 17. So very, very even indeed. And we are P5 in the Constructors. We did close a bit on Alfa Romeo, and the plan is to close that little bit more because that P4 has to be ours at least this season. We do want to push Mercedes to see if we can close in on them as well. Just thought I'd keep you updated with the facilities. So we have upgraded a lot because we did have a lot of spare money. Mainly last season because Schumacher was on such a low contract. But we've got a factory up to level 3, design center level 3, and we're actually upgrading the wind tunnel and the simulator as well. And we plan to upgrade the suspension simulator and the car part test as well. But they are like 10 million. We only have 12 mil right now. So we've got to be a bit careful with our money. Once we get up to 20 mil, we are going to upgrade those. The staff facilities are pretty much almost graded up the whole way. Same with the operations facilities, because we seem to have a lot of money to be able to just upgrade stuff left, right, and center. So that seems to be working. But I just wanted to keep you updated with that. And also, the more you do upgrade, the more monthly upkeep it is. So that's why we're struggling a bit with money, rather than the first season when we basically had no upgrades. We could upgrade everything rapidly. So now we have to take a little bit more time and be a bit more, tactical with it. Q1 was pretty straightforward. I didn't feel like there was much use showing it. Gasly only 3/10 off of P1. Max Verstappen. Mercedes do look very quick. So maybe this shot for third is kind of gone out because Mercedes seem to have bucked up their ideas. And now they're fighting for race wins, as you saw last time with Lewis Hamilton. But Gasly was faster than Bottas. Magnussen is also up there as well. It's still a little bit off the pace of Pierre Gasly, which is a little bit frustrating. But it's only been a couple races. Earlier on in the season, he was a little bit faster or around the same pace as him. All right, we do have to send both drivers back out. Gasly got held up in his first lap, and I'm not confident with Magnussen going through with that lap time. So we're going to send him out right now, see if we can get out in the middle of this pack. No, it looks like they're going to be right at the very back. So Gasly and Magnussen right at the back for qualifying, and Gasly needs to put in a time. A lot of pressure on him. Magnussen probably needs to improve as well, both on brand new sets of tyres. It's going to be interesting if they can get on through. Both drivers improving, which is positive signs indeed. Alonso goes up to P8, pushing down Kevin Magnussen. I think Gasly is the first of the two cars to cross the line, so we're riding on board with him as he comes around the final corner. Where can he put his car? Magnussen is safely through no matter what. Gasly goes up to P8, putting in a decent time. Magnussen improves the slightest a bit, but that's not too promising from Kevin Magnussen. Still over 3/10 off of Pierre Gasly, and yeah, it looks a bit shaky. He's gonna probably be P10. His battle is mainly Alonso, and Gasly's battle is Bottas. So the goal is P7 and P9. I'd say for this Q3, the front three teams are just too far away. We're already 3/10 off a pole. You put it like that, it's not too bad. But I think realistically, the goal is beat Bottas with Gasly and beat Alonso with Kevin Magnussen. Will get P7 and P9. Alonso is technically P10, but I doubt Magnussen will be able to get ahead of Alonso. It'll be close, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to do that. He is improving, which is good signs to see. I think he got held up in Sector 2. So to improve on Sector 1 is a good start, I guess you could say. Perez with a 17.6, who's currently on pole. I don't think Gasly will be able to beat that, but he is improving in Sector 1. If he can improve in Sector 2 as well, we can look to holding on to P7, because I'm sure Hamilton will jump ahead. Magnussen is now coming up to the line. Can he improve? He jumps ahead of Bottas. So if Bottas can't improve, maybe he starts ahead of him, but Alonso, he didn't manage to get up ahead of Alonso, which is a little bit frustrating. Pierre Gasly now round the final corner. He is improving. What sort of time can he put in? Can he go ahead of Fernando Alonso? He could go up to P2! Where has that come from? Okay, he's dropped down to P3 now, P4. But blimmin' heck, that startled me. Now down to P5. He's ahead of Bottas. But Hamilton jumps ahead, and now I'm sure Carlos Sainz is going to jump ahead. I got really excited for a second. I thought we were on the front row for a split second. Sainz goes up ahead. Gasly is putting an absolute worldie of a lap, to be fair. And he's starting P7 for the Grand Prix. Magnussen is only going to be P10. Blimmin' heck. For a second, I thought we were on pole position, front row. He did 17.6. A very good lap time from Pierre Gasly. So P7 and P10, not bad starting spots. We got half of our goal. We wanted a P7 and P9, but Magnussen couldn't hold up his end of the bargain. We're going to look at what strategies there are. We could do softs, mediums, softs for Pierre. Or do we go mediums, medium, softs? So I think softs, medium, softs seems like the strategy to do. So we're going to go softs, medium, softs. Maybe with Magnussen, we go mediums, medium, softs. And we tell him to push on those mediums as hard as possible. Just to switch up the strategy. And we'll get him going aggressive. We'll get him overtaking cars. That's the way we're going to go forward for this Grand Prix. And with Pierre Gasly, we'll get in the softs, get him away well, so he can hold on to that P7 and hopefully stay with the front runners for as long as possible. But Magnussen needs to make up a couple places because he's right in the middle in P10. We're actually going to ride on board with Magnussen. Can he get a good start? It doesn't look like it's an awful start, but not good enough to gain any places just yet, as he's right behind Bottas, who goes into that first corner very, very slow and actually loses a position to Alonso. Let's see what everybody else has gone for. We've got a mixture of softs, mediums, and hards, so the strategy is all over the place for everybody. But Magnussen trying to find a move on Bottas on the opening lap. He's going to go down the inside maybe? No, he thinks about it. Bottas on the soft tyres does have that extra grip, but Magnussen could go for a move now. Is he going to go for it? No, he can't get it done just yet. So we're going to just settle down into the race. Couldn't get any moves off the start. Gasly has stayed in P7, and it's his job to stay with the front runners. Sainz on the medium tyres. You can see Russell and Perez are on more worn softs, and that's because Gasly actually had a spare pair, like a free pair of softs left, brand new pair of softs. So he's chucked those on, which is could be kind of helpful, to be fair. 6% extra wear. That's pretty nice indeed. Well, in blimmin' heck, look at the gap. Norris has dropped 2 seconds from Magnussen. So there is a bit of a gap between 10th and 11th, which is nice. You like having a gap between points and no points, especially when both of your drivers are in the points. It looks like Alonso is defending from Bottas up ahead. Don't know why he was defending. He didn't really need to. But Magnussen can't find a way through. Maybe we just be a little bit patient, and when their tyres start to wear off, then we attack. I think that might be the way to go, because we're using up a lot of fuel in the process. So we'll just settle in behind, and we'll just be a little bit more patient. You can see Gasly up the road is also battling with Sainz, trying to make a move done. Alright, so Magnussen's actually fallen off the back of the pack here. I don't really know how that happened. I think we went light in his tyres, and he just seemed to kind of drop away ever so slightly. I don't think he made a mistake, but we have told him to go aggressive to try and join up on the back of the pack. Gasly is doing a good job on his softs. They're still working. There's less wear than Alonso and Bottas behind, and also than Perez and Russell. So he's doing a good job just sitting in that pack, staying on to the DRS from Sainz. Russell doesn't have DRS on Verstappen and Leclerc, so Verstappen and Leclerc running away again. But if it's anything like last time, the two leaders could have another collision. Who knows? Come on, Magnussen. Magnussen is closing up on Alonso now. So Alonso's dropped off. Gasly is still doing a good job just staying with the train. Sainz is the first one to come into the pits. So Magnussen closing up on Alonso. He might actually be able to get a move done. Oh, Alonso comes in. All right. So now is the optimal time for Gasly. He could take these tyres longer. Really can definitely take these tyres a little bit longer. I'm thinking one stop could probably work around here. I think a one stop could maybe even work for Kevin Magnussen. Do we go for it for Magnussen? We'll stick with a 2-stop for Gasly. But the tyres are still working, so I don't see the need in taking a pit stop. Gasly just sitting behind Lewis Hamilton now, who stays out a little bit longer. Hamilton on a set of medium tyres. Why not just sit behind Hamilton who comes in? Alright, everybody's coming in really early. I honestly think a one-stop's a possibility. Maybe we go into the hard tyres for Magnussen. I think that could be the way to do it. So we're going to keep Gasly out there as well. We could go for a one-stop for both drivers. It seems really early to pit when there's no need to. We're going to keep both drivers out there. We're currently 1-2 because we're the only two that stayed on out. Gasly is on a little bit worn soft tyres. I think we're going to go for a 2-stop for Gasly. Bottas spins, which is good news for Magnussen and for Gasly. I think for Gasly we pit him now. No need to change his strategy. But why not try it for Kevin Magnussen and see what actually happens with that? So we're going to put Gasly onto a set of mediums right now. So in comes Pierre Gasly. Where does he actually peel on out? Oh, he gets ahead of Sergio Perez. Look at that. So it's actually worked perfectly for Pierre. Perez right in behind. And Gasly has done a good job to get that overcut to work on Sergio Perez. So up he goes. Now we're going to try and deploy some ERS, see if we can pull out of that gap just a little bit. Magnussen is going to keep going, and we're going to switch him to a one-stop strategy and put him straight on to the hard tyres. But Gasly has actually pulled away from Sergio Perez by using that ERS. He's got a gap from Sainz and Perez, and he's closing in on the Mercedes up ahead, who are going pretty much side by side into turn one. Hamilton around the outside of George Russell. Can he get it to work? George Russell defending pretty much like he did against Verstappen in real life. Is he going to force Hamilton almost off the road? No, they keep it clean, but Gasly is absolutely loving this because he can close in this battle and potentially close in on the Mercedes, which he does, and now he's in DRS range. He's actually looking at a move on one of them, but we're going to tell him just sit. Just relax a little bit and just use your DRS to just basically have them pull you along. You're on fresher medium tyres. This is working out perfectly for Pierre Gasly. The switcher strategy could work for Magnussen. We could be on for a very good point scoring weekend. Come on. We need to get past these guys. These guys are basically holding up Magnussen now. They just keep switching every lap, and it's really, really frustrating K-Mag. Basically kind of screwing over his race. If we can get past him, it would be perfect. I don't think we're going to be able to. There's two of them, which is the most frustrating part. But they're almost working together. Gasly doing a good job. It looks like he got held up by that back marker there. So he's lost out to the cars up ahead. Sainz is now closing in. So Gasly's kind of got to push this lap just to close back in the cars up ahead. And there's been a crash. Is that a safety car? It doesn't say it yet. Just a yellow flag in Sector 1. Looks like Alex Albon was involved. I feel like this could be really bad if it is a safety car, but it doesn't look like it is. Alex Albon gets a penalty, but we need Gasly to close back in on the Mercedes drivers up ahead. So we're going to tell him to deploy some ERS. Perez closing back in because Perez and Sainz are basically switching DRS, so they're able to close back in. We can't allow that to happen. We've got to push, Pierre. We've got to push and catch up to the Mercedes drivers and get in their DRS before Perez gets into ours. So he's doing a good job, actually, as the Mercedes are battling. They need to keep battling, and we should be able to close in for next time, which we do. I think one of them just pushed the other off the road, so they're basically going really, really hard at each other. They've lost track to Verstappen and Leclerc. Leclerc is now in the lead of the Grand Prix. For how much longer? I don't know. As Verstappen goes around the outside of Charles Leclerc. If those two battle as well, that'll be good. We can join back in for the race lead. And back markers came out ahead. Should we see if we can try and take advantage of this as the back marker moves over? We're going to close in on the Mercedes drivers. Look out. Look at this. This is absolutely crazy. We've got back marker in the way. The two Mercedes are battling. And we're right in the background, ready to pounce if there is a mess up with the McLaren driver who is getting lapped, who is not getting out of the way just yet. So we're right on the back of the two Mercedes. Now Carlos Sainz has joined the battle because of this carnage. He's not moving out of the way. Who is it? It's Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo just says, nah, I'm running my own race. I'm not getting out of your guys' way. So he's just blocking everybody surely down the straight now. Surely he has to get out of the way. He does. He gets out of the way of everybody. And Mercedes is going to go at it again. We're going to sit behind and see what happens. But if Gasly can say that, that'll be perfect. Sainz actually kind of gets screwed up by the lapped car. So that works for us. And Magnussen still down in P10. Oh, they've come into the pits. Okay, so more people have come into the pits. Magnussen up in a P6. He could get these hards to the end of the Grand Prix. So he's in for a good chance of a good point scoring position. But Russell isn't too far behind. And he's got free air now. So Magnussen can actually push and kind of take advantage from this. Gasly up into P4, sitting behind Lewis Hamilton. I'm not sure if Hamilton and Verstappen and Leclerc are going to pit. I think Gasly can get to the end of the Grand Prix on these tyres. Let's see, Verstappen does pit. Okay, what's Hamilton and Sainz going to do? That's another interesting one. They both pit as well. Is Leclerc going to stay out? We're going to try and hold our tyres to the very end of the Grand Prix. Verstappen gets out ahead of Magnussen. If Gasly can hold these tyres to the end of the Grand Prix, he could be on for a race win as Leclerc comes into the pits. Hold on a second. We might have done a masterstroke here. We've got 16 laps to hold on to these tyres. Can Pierre Gasly do it? Kevin Magnussen in P4 as well. He's going to hold those tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. This could be a very good weekend for us. He's got George Russell just closing in behind. If we can push a little bit, we're going to push as much as we can, actually. And we're going to try and close in on Leclerc. If we can close in on Leclerc, that'll be perfect. I don't think we have enough pace. No, we do not. All right. We're going to be under threat from Lewis Hamilton behind. Sainz, Perez, and Russell, actually, we could drop all the way down to P8. But it's worth the switch that we've done with Magnussen. If this back marker can actually hold up the cars behind, that'll be beautiful. Let's see if it does. You've got Sainz right there. Magnussen is trying to pull away as much as we can. We're going to tell them to basically use up all the tyres, because I think they're going to get to the end of the Grand Prix easily. Gasly, I think, is going to win this race. We've got 12 laps to go. Verstappen is actually closing in at a rate of notch, though. He is closing in very fast indeed. Max Verstappen could close down fast enough to take this race win away from Pierre Gasly. Kevin Magnussen is doing a fantastic job right now, holding on to P4 ahead of Hamilton, as Sainz and Hamilton, I'm pretty sure, are pretty much pushing each other as much as possible and battling, which has allowed Magnussen to close on in to Charles Leclerc, who's in P3. Leclerc on the soft tyres. Everybody's on the soft tyres. They're going to be a lot quicker than everybody else. But if we can hold on to this DRS from Charles Leclerc, we could maybe pull away from Lewis Hamilton up behind Gasly. No. No.
Now just focus on the Haas.
No. You had a race win. You had a race win. Pierre.
The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly. And
You had... Gasly, you had a race win, mate. You had a race win. Now you've just made your life very, very difficult indeed. Magnussen on the back of Leclerc. Gasly is now under threat from Max Verstappen, and it looks more and more likely that Verstappen is going to close it in. Magnussen gets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on those hard tyres. Where has this come from? Kevin Magnussen could be on the podium himself at the end of this Grand Prix. Are those soft tyres starting to go off a little bit? I know for a fact Gasly is going to be struggling towards the end of the Grand Prix, and I know for a fact Max Verstappen smells blood as he's closing on in to Pierre. We're going to tell Pierre to basically go for it. You got to push now. You've basically screwed over everything, all the chances that you had. You've got to really go for it. You lost 6 seconds by running off the road. And Verstappen smells blood. We've got 4 laps to go. Gasly, you've got to push it. You've got to push it all the way. There's 2 seconds difference with 3 laps. Verstappen's going to be within DRS at the end of the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me, I don't think I can handle it. Magnussen's in Leclerc's DRS. Oh no, this is awful. This is awful. Oh, he doesn't have the tyres. He doesn't have the tyres. If he didn't lock up, he would have been alright. If he didn't lock up, he would have been alright. I see that, Pierre. I see that. You've got to defend with all your might, though, mate. You've got to defend with all your might. Is Verstappen going to go for a move down this straight? He's on the soft tyres. How's his softs looking? They're looking pretty decent. He thinks about a move, but not just yet. As Pierre Gasly, he's got to hold on this lap and another lap after that. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, as Verstappen is looking for every way possible past the Haas driver. Magnussen, on the other hand, can't find a way past Charles Leclerc either. These softs are still working for Verstappen and Leclerc, and Verstappen's going to get another chance here. Is he going to be able to get past Pierre Gasly this time around down this straight? Is he going to go down the inside? He can't find the move. Pierre Gasly is holding on for dear life. You've got to do it for another lap to hold on to the race win. We got Magnussen to focus about, who we could get on the podium as well. We're going to tell him to push on this final lap of the Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly has to somehow hold Max Verstappen behind him down this next straight. Verstappen's got DRS. He couldn't be much closer. He's going to get the job done before the straight really even starts. But can Kevin Magnussen get back on Charles Leclerc? Verstappen takes the race lead. Very, very frustrating. Magnussen, can he get the job done on Charles Leclerc? Can we have a double podium here for Haas? Magnussen around the outside. Is he going to get the move done? Come on, K-Mag, you can do it. It's the inside now. Magnussen all the way around the outside. Oh, Charles Leclerc. Make it stick. Make it stick, K-Mag. Oh, he couldn't get it done. He could not get it done. You can have another chance. You can have another chance. You just got to be patient. Come on, Kevin Magnussen. Is he going to look for a move now around the outside? I'll tell you what, Gasly is still in the back of Verstappen. I don't think he's going to be close enough, though, to get the overtake down the next straight. Magnussen, on the other hand, I think might be. He could get this job done right here. This is his last chance for this Grand Prix. Is Gasly close enough? No, he is not. So he's going to have to settle for P2. Can Kevin Magnussen get the job done? DRS, is he going to go down the inside? No, he's not going to. Gasly's right on Verstappen's tail as well, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Magnussen isn't going to have enough time to get the job done on Leclerc either. I think we're going to have to settle for a P2 and P4. But it was so close to a double Haas podium. So close. It was so close to a race win. If Gasly doesn't make the mistake, it is a race win. But it's going to be P2 for Pierre Gasly. And it's going to be P4 for Kevin Magnussen. What a race. And what a haul of points that is. Only 1 point going towards Alfa Romeo. I think Kevin Magnussen got fastest lap in the end as well. No, Verstappen ended up getting fastest lap. But Gasly and Magnussen, with a change of strategy, have worked out perfectly. It could have been a P1 and a P3. I think Magnussen did incredible to get up to P4, to be honest. But what a result that is.
Yeah, good job, guys.
That's a huge haul of points. I think it's like 30 points that we've gained from that race. Should have probably been a race win, but Gasly bottled it. Anyhow, I'll tell you what. 36 points now for Gasly in the championship, 29 for Magnussen. That is brilliant. And in the constructors, ahead of Alfa Romeo we go. And we're closing in on Mercedes. That P3 is not out of the question just yet. We obviously do want to get quite a bit more than 200 points, which we got last year. We want to try and close up to 250, maybe even 300 for this season. But if we can get P3 in that constructors, that'll be very big indeed. Could have got a double podium, could have got a race win. But we've got to be happy with P2 and P4 and 30 points to go with it. Jack Doohan also did take practice this week, so he gained more experience. He is upgrading pretty fast. He could be a future driver for us, so he is a good reserve driver to have. Design completion of the suspension and the chassis, so we're going to have upgrades hopefully for next episode if we can get the manufacturing in time. I don't think we will because it's 4 days until Monaco. Let's actually have a look. You can see, go to the warehouse, we've got a new chassis. Let's manufacture this. It's going to be quite a while actually, unless we rush it. It'll be in after Monaco. What about after Monaco? When's the next race after Monaco? Let's have a look. So we got Monaco on the 4th. Okay, so if we rush it, it could come in before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I think that might be a way to do it. If we rush it, get it in, and we could have it for another race. So let's do that. Let's rush it. Or let's just see. 16 days. No, we're going to have to rush it, I think. So we're going to rush it. We're going to let's get 2 of those in. And then we'll do the standard for another 2. So we'll get 2 of those in, 225,000, which is not too bad. And also the suspension upgrades we're going to do as well. When can we get that in? That will come in before Azerbaijan as well. And we'll get 4 of those coming in just in case the 2 drivers crash out. But they've been pretty good. One mistake that race from Pierre Gasly, and it was a very costly one as it cost us the race win. But a great weekend. 36 points now in the championship for Pierre Gasly, 29 for Magnussen, 65 for Haas, and we're going into Monaco. So it'd be nice to get a good result there. Everybody likes a good result in Monaco. Hard place to overtake, but you can overtake on this game if you time it right, as we saw last season. If you are enjoying this series, make sure you go leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.